More than 3 million Australian dollars lost after the first Ashes. We're going to tell you everything about that in this video. Welcome to NewsX. I'm Kashish Dhawan and with me is
Akash Kaushik.
Akash. So after the first test match between Australia and England, which ended in just 2 days,
Yeah.
the amount went up to more than $3 million for the Australian Cricket Board.
Yes, it was a very humongous loss for the Australian side, and they were not happy as much as they would have been if the victory had come after 4 days. Even Travis had mentioned that I'm actually feeling bad for the fans that had actually bought the tickets for day 3. And Ashes means one of the fierce competitions. One of the competitions when you see the two of the most fierce sides of international cricket, the two of the sides that have been playing the sport for the most amount of years, coming against each other, having an Ashes and having an iconic legendary story behind the series. And that first match ends up in 2 days. Well, Australians were initially very delighted until the cricket board found out that it will cause them a loss of more than $3 million.
Akash, why do you think, what adds up to that $3 million for Australian Cricket Board?
Absolutely, the 5 day the match was supposed to happen for 5 days. The tickets were supposed to sell for 5 days. 4, even if the match gets over early, then we were supposed expecting for $4. Now for 4 matches. Now understand one thing: with a capacity of 50 to 60,000, you lose the ticket revenue for day 3, day 4, and day 5. So you do not have that kind of ticketing revenue that is generated out of the stadium. Apart from the ticketing revenue, it is also about the broadcast rights. When the match goes on for 5 days, the broadcast rights gives you more money, and you get this amount of money from the advertisers, and you are paid accordingly. Now that doesn't happen, that goes down. Now coming to the other point, the sales that happens inside of the stadium, inside of the association, in test matches, a lot of things have been sold. They serve you food, they serve you the drinks, and all of that had a cost. So when the match ends up within 2 days, all of this revenue is lost. Hence, when it eventually comes back to the fact that 3 million was a huge amount, and that can add up, because the usual ticket price for the ticket might be $100, and now so many stadiums, so many people watching for the stadium loss of revenue, loss of ticketing sales,
loss for the sponsors as well.
Absolutely, it's a loss for the sponsors as well. So that's why the entire loss has been added up to 3 million Australian dollars. But now Mitchell Starc would have been happy with it. No, the players would have been happy with it. That they have
but this is a half happiness for them, because they also wanted to play for that long, but somehow the game ended with just Travis Head's inning.
No, I don't think so. They'll be, because their pay will not be cut.
That is something that Australian Cricket Board won't do to their players, of course. But it is a loss that they are going to bear, and it is one of the biggest losses that they're going to bear.
It is one of the biggest, because it was the first test match, because it was one of the most highly anticipated match, and the first match of Ashes has always been really high anticipated. The advertisers, the promoters, the audience, all are very excited. So the amount and the stakes of the money are really high, and that is precisely one of the reasons why they could not actually go forward with the match and actually end up losing 3 million. If it wasn't the first test, I think the amount would have been lesser.
Definitely. Then, of course, the interest in the game, if you have seen, the interest might go a little low in the second test.
I don't think so that's going to happen.
Actually, it's the Ashes.
It is the Ashes. And I think England would want to make a comeback, because the second test will actually give them a very genuine chance to make a comeback. Perth didn't go their way, but Brisbane might be the one that they can come back. But very interesting fact, Brisbane is the Gabba Stadium, and Australia has only lost at Gabba twice. Once the mighty Indian team defeated them, and the second time it was West Indies. So England has never ever beaten Australia in Brisbane. So the challenge is 5 times harder, and when the challenge is harder, the reward is even better.
That is so true. And Akash, can you tell me a little bit about what went wrong for the England side? Because it isn't like that they were not playing well, but they were taking good wickets, but something changed in the second innings.
What went wrong for England? There are 4 letters, 2 names: Mitchell Starc and Travis Head. And that is precisely the answer for it. But well, still considering the wicket was considerably easier to bat on to the second day.
Yeah.
But when England trembled for 164 and it was only Australia needed 204 runs, I think they did not use Jofra Archer that well. They did not use their upfront fast bowlers taking up the wickets. And as soon as Travis Head settled into the innings,
Yeah.
I think they should have changed some tactics, because if they could have got Travis Head out early, the match would have finished. And Travis Head went out with a different approach.
Yeah.
He went out to score 123 out of 83 balls. He was playing T20 in there.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
that
He's
was
always play. It always looks like Travis Head is playing with a T20 mindset.
Absolutely.
Whether it's Test, ODI, or whichever game he's playing.
Yes, but that was not a correct approach to take, and that's why that was not correct approach to take for England bowlers.
Yeah,
when
for
someone is
exactly.
hitting you, you need to bowl for wickets. And as soon as he scored those 40-50 odd runs,
Yeah.
I saw that the England bowlers were tired and their shoulders went down, and then it was just a Travis Head show.
Of course.
The initial 120-130 runs, still there was some challenge, but as soon as Australia went past the 110-20
It
mark,
became like a one-sided game.
absolutely it did become like a one-sided game, and that's where England lost the match. You just lose your focus for one session.
Yeah.
Low total in a small total match and low scoring match. This is the thing. If you lose your confidence and if you lose your focus only for one session, you will lose the entire test game. And that's exactly what happened, because after the first innings, England were actually in lead of 40
Yeah.
runs. England were actually in a better position. If they could have scored 200 and 250 odd runs, the target would have been 300 odd runs. Then the things would
But
have been
then there
different.
is Mitchell Starc, right? He wouldn't let that happen.
Exactly, and Mitchell Starc, the second innings the ball was swinging a little less,
Yeah.
and it was a little easier for the batsman. Not easy at all, it is Perth after all. But again, I think when Travis Head started to hit, your bowlers did not perform up to the mark.
Definitely.
Jofra Archer was very, very expensive, and you just gave 8 overs to him. Gus Atkinson was very expensive. Bryden Cass was very expensive. So your bowlers were being smashed all around, and they did not have those kind of breakthrough deliveries that Mitchell Starc usually provides
Definitely.
with. Then Jofra Archer had to come up with those.
Yeah, that is true, and I think Australian cricket team would also look forward to extend the match and have a better play when it comes to Travis Head would want to stick on the field and not perform like a T20 match. He would want to stay there and play it like it is a test match.
Absolutely, they would want to play it like a test match. But now the next match in Brisbane, the next Ashes test will be happening in Brisbane, and Australia would want to take the lead, seal the deal for the Ashes, and actually push England on a back foot. And we will be there for you. We'll be there for you covering it, and you have to just stay tuned with NewsX.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.